I just couldn't do it. I could not make it work. I could not make myself work in this society. And for most of my life, I thought there was something really wrong with me. I thought I was broken somehow, that like I have ADHD, I have depression, I have anxiety because I cannot be a cog in a machine like this. And as I grow up, I'm constantly gaslighted by society, by other people who've been conditioned, but also just by the world that we live in. Like, factory farming is just okay. Why is it just okay to keep a living being in a torturous state of existence for the entirety of its life, just so we can consume its flesh? Doesn't that sound a little dark? I mean, and that's just common practice. And there's so many things like that that are just common practice. Our economic system is a lot like that. It is a predatory economic system. You've been conditioned into thinking like, oh, this is the best, most efficient system, and this is the only way that we can do things, and it has to be this way. It doesn't. That is a lie. And it's a lie of, don't shoot the messenger, the Epstein class, dude. The people who organized and designed this society that has conditioned people away from their God consciousness and towards materialism are these psychopathic narcissists who are hell bent on guiding the world to its doom for some reason. I don't know why. I've heard some people say the reason they do all this crazy, disgusting shit is because there's no end game content. And I find that explanation banal. And if it is true, which it might be, these nut jobs, if that is why they are doing these weird child sacrifice rituals and pedophilic whatever, I guess that's still really horrible. But I mean, it doesn't make that much sense, does it? When you come from the perspective that consciousness itself is the primary substrate of reality. So everything is consciousness. Everything is that thing. And it's material reality that comes from that consciousness, not the other way around. Physical matter isn't the primary substrate that then somehow complexifies and gives rise to consciousness. That's absurd. That's an absurd notion to even think. Even Plato had his idea, the Platonic realm of ideas, where he says that ideas are primary. Okay? These people doing these rituals, like the Moloch statue of Moloch in the Bohemian Grove forest, where they burn an effigy of a child. It's literally like a child sacrifice ritual that tons of former US presidents and business leaders and all these people go to. You don't think maybe the people who are hell-bent on controlling society and having all this wealth and power, egos run completely wild, that are absolutely addicted to, I'm not even sure what you would call it, like, it's like an arbitrary sense of greed, like just an automatic, I will have more, and like there is absolutely no intelligent thought behind, okay, where is this leading us? Where's this taking humanity? It is completely about, they're looking left and right at the other billionaires next to them, and they're like, how do I fucking stick it to this loser next time I see him at this fucking conference? That's what they're doing. And they're literally ripping the world to shreds by doing that. This competitive energy is from these psychopaths, dude, who are greedy bastards and want everything. Like, don't get me wrong. It isn't wrong to want abundance. It isn't wrong to want wealth so that you can be happy and your family can be happy, okay? I want that. I want to live free. And you need to have wealth in order to live free. But these people are taking all of our wealth for themselves. Capital is a byproduct of labor, okay? There would be no capital without labor. So why do the people who don't actually work at all, but just trade stocks and bonds and manipulate the markets and essentially are parasitic entities atop genuine production, genuine commerce that actually helps people and incentivizes us to move forward as a society, they don't want that. And that's why all these nuclear scientists are going missing. That's why Nikola Tesla's research on Wardenclyffe Tower that provided unlimited free energy from the quantum vacuum, because again, the universe is frequency, light, vibration. Okay, that's why his lab was raided. That's why the FBI confiscated that research and still has it today. That's why all these scientists who are discovering things like anti-gravity and cold fusion are either ostracized from the scientific community, they're paid off, and now they're just killing them. They're literally just killing them left and right. And it's gotten so bad to the point where now even the organs of their own structure, their mainstream media, their government has to say something about it because it's so ridiculous. And a lot of the people in these structures are having the wool pulled from over their eyes, and they're realizing what they're actually part of and what they're actually serving. And that's what saves the world, okay? It's not fighting each other and trying to rip each other's throats out over this stuff. It is understanding that this left-right dichotomy is a false dichotomy. Okay? They have created a fake identity-based thing that says if you believe A, you have to believe B. And if you believe C, you have to believe D. And if you believe those things, you're in these groups, and that's who you are. And if you don't do this, and if you don't believe this, then you don't belong, and you can't be in our tribe. That's bullshit. There's one group. It's humanity. There is one tribe. It is humanity. There is one nation. It is Earth. We are one planet, one people. They would have us believe that we are all these separate, insignificant, sniveling, weak little fuckers who can't do anything to stop them because we're just so plebeian. We're just so inferior. But they know. They know about the power you have, just like I know about the power you have. And that's why they're killing all these scientists. That's why they're freaking out. It is literally the death convulsions of a dying system. So, ladies and gentlemen, as crazy as all that sounded, it's actually very optimistic. Because as all my fellow psychonauts know, in a psychedelic trip, okay, typically you confront a lot of dark shit in the beginning. And it sucks and it's hard. But once you confront it, and once you surrender, and once you admit it and face that discomfort, oh my God, do you unlock heaven? And that's where we're heading. That's where you're heading. That's where I'm heading. Let's all head there together, baby, okay? Mwah! I love you so much.